Hey, what's going on, YouTube? So basically, what it boils down to is I'm getting tired of hearing of all these what Negroes consider dime piece females getting murdered by their jealous boyfriends and ex boyfriends all over social media, man. I mean, there is way too much of this going on. And y'all know that I'm not saying this from a simp perspective, I'm saying this from a realist perspective, okay? Because my stance on this is when it comes to domestic violence, we seen the whole Me Too movement that was supposed to be against sexual abuse, and there are a lot of different organizations and movements against domestic violence. But the fact of the matter is, the way I see it, there are some very tough questions that women, Americanized women, are going to have to start asking themselves while looking in the mirror. That's just the reality of it, okay? Because when you look at these situations, you have to ask yourself, the eyebrow has to be raised. And I know a lot of you brothers have noticed this. A lot of times you will have a female that is very physically attractive, or she's good at prettying herself up, to look all model like in front of the camera to put up on Instagram or Facebook. And yet at the same time she's with some bust down ass thug. Sometimes he's a good looking guy, other times he's just a regular looking dude, but he has the hip hop gear on, the starter cap all the way down to the gym shoes and the jumper pants. And the females that are on so-called lockdown with that are in a relationship that a lot of Negro simps consider dime pieces but are admittedly physically attractive, they love these type of dudes, man. They love these type of dudes. And in a lot of cases, these females that a lot of simps would kill other simps over, would kill other men over, okay? Would kill themselves. And, if they thought they could go to heaven and marry a female like this in the afterlife. A lot of these females are getting abused. They're getting the hell beat out of them at the very least by these dudes that display the persona, at least to put up the front that they're thugs, or they got the whole hip hop swag thing going. But these little young ass females under the age of 30 years old, they love these type of dudes. Now in some of the latest more recent cases, you had this Tony Nicole Lopez chick from New York City. I think she was from Brooklyn or whatever. Her story went viral. She was a mixed race chick, very attractive. And she was in a relationship with some savage ass effeminate Negro, and he wound up beating her and throwing her down the stairs. And then I think he stabbed her or whatever. And then you had this other case where this southeast or southwest Indian Caribbean chick, Stacy Singh, she was stabbed to death by her simp ass boyfriend, who later hung himself. And then you had this Khadijah Woods chick that was also murdered by her boyfriend. And I'm left wondering to myself, now these females are always talking about where are all the good men at, niggas ain't shit, this, that, and the other. You would think by now, in the year 2018, the mindset of the female would have evolved by now to realize that getting with these types of dudes probably ain't in their best interest. Okay? Now, I quite frankly could care about none of them. I'm big enough to admit that, there are some very physically attractive hood rats out there that are, classified as dime pieces. But I'm just getting tired. I'm just getting sick and tired of hearing of these stories where these females are getting murked by these dudes that put on the bad boy persona, because those are the type of dudes that get these type of females. These are the type of dudes that they go for. if they're not worshiping and deifying white men. That's a big if. The only type of black dudes they get with are dudes that, they got the hip hop gear on, and, they ain't got a job. Some of these dudes living with their mom, their grandmama co-signed to get them a Dodge Charger, if that. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times they drive in the female's car. You know what I'm saying? You got a lot of these fake. I'm working on a hip hop rap label deal, with some record company type of Negroes. These females, they love these dudes that put on this fake swag. These are the type of dudes, the only type of black dudes that they'll fuck with. The only type of black dudes that they'll fuck with, I swear. When you see these females that, be in the club, be in the bar, trying to attract attention, if they are in a relationship with a dude that they likely cheating on, which is one of the reasons why these guys are going off the way they be going off, because these females be playing mind games, and in a lot of cases they be initiating physical confrontation. But again, that's a subject we can't really talk about here on YouTube the way I want to talk about it, at least. 9 times out of 10, these type of chicks have, these dudes that, they got the whole hip hop swag thing going on. They dress up, they, probably smell nice. They make sure they look nice. But outside of that, it's just a hollow shell. They're only good for looking good in pictures. I remember way back in 2014, what was his name? In 2014, one of Isaac Hayes' illegitimate sons, Earl Hayes, murdered his girlfriend, dancer, model, and choreographer Stephanie Mosley. That was also an actress in some semi-popular cable TV show about cheerleading bimbos. And she was a well-built chick, and I'm just left trying to figure out. And this Earl Hayes dude, they made a big story about this because Earl Hayes was one of Floyd Mayweather's flunkies. He was one of Floyd Mayweather's yes men. As a matter of fact, Floyd Mayweather had signed him to a little record label that he had under Mayweather Promotions. And Earl Hayes, Floyd Mayweather, was actually on FaceTime with Earl Hayes, because Earl Hayes was acting all emotional, talking about he found out that his girl was cheating on him again, Stephanie Mosley. And in the middle of the FaceTime, he told Floyd, or he indicated that he was going to kill her and kill himself. And allegedly, Floyd Mayweather tried to talk him out of it, but he wound up doing it anyway. He murked her when she was taking a shower, which is bogus to me. I mean, that's kind of like shooting somebody when they pee, but I guess, all murder is bad. But the fact is, then he killed himself as a SWAT team closed in. And so, I'm looking at this chick, and I'm looking at all these chicks, and I'm just like, they got attractive features, they well built, you know what I'm saying? They the type of dude that they are the center of every simp's imagination, no matter what race he be. And a lot of these simps, just because they're simps don't mean they don't have their shit together. You have simps that run their own business, they got money stacked up. There's a lot of simps that will worship the ground these females walk on, would never lay a hand on them, you know what I'm saying? And they actually give a crap about these females, to the point where they will go all out of their way trying to prove themselves to these females. Yet somehow these type of females, that Negro simps in particular called dime pieces, they always wind up with these ain't shit ass niggas that these females love to talk about and take the rest of us black men and group us in with and drag through the mud. I personally, in spite of all the shit I've went through with black females, I ain't never laid my hand on a female. I ain't gonna say I ain't never thought about it. And the only reason I thought about it because she was making threats directly and indirectly, but that's a subject for another video. But you know what I'm saying? I don't put my hands on nobody that don't put their hands on me. Now, you put your hands on me, then we gonna box. I don't care who you are. White, black, male, female, I don't give a damn. But I see these videos like the ones that, certain enemy troll YouTubers put up of these degenerate black males just walking up on females and just knocking the living hell out of them. And like I said, a lot of these females be pretty too. It's not, that's the thing that really stuns me about this. When you look at, domestic violence, domestic abuse, it's bad all across the board. But when you look particularly in the black community, a majority of these females that are dying due to, getting killed by they husbands or partners or boyfriends, these ain't, ugly chicks or even basic chicks. These are chicks that, again, Negro simps would consider dime pieces. And the question is why? Again, going back to what I said at the very beginning of this video, there's some things that females, and black females in particular, there's some hard questions and some hard truths that they're going to have to face about why they keep finding themselves in certain situations. And this happens to be one of the bigger situations that they need to look in the mirror and reflect on and ask those tough questions. Because it just don't make any sense. There's more than enough thirsty ass, hungry ass dudes out there, not necessarily with swag, but dudes that will treat these females right, go out of their way. Okay? I just saw this stupid ass meme the other day. It perfectly describes what I mean when I talk about, when you look at the polar opposite way behavior from what these females put up on social media, what they claim to expect out of a man to be a super simp, as seen in this meme, versus the type of dudes that they get with. Can't do nothing for them. Some of these dudes got criminal records. Some of them cheating with this female on other females that they married to or in a relationship with. Hence, Sansare's 10 rules to dating a married man. So, it's like, it's a complete contradiction. But again, I mean, it's their life. If they wanna risk it, and then they get with these dudes that are super simp, effeminate, degenerate, can't do nothing for them, but look good in an Instagram photo, and then they try to break up with these dudes when they find out that they can't control and tame him with their pussies and their pretty looks. You know what I'm saying? Even after having this dude's baby. But then him being a super simp, effeminate and degenerate, he don't know how to just walk away like us normal thinking brothers do. And just be like, I get it. If I got her, I could get another one. No, they want to hold these females like a piece of property. Because these dudes have no self-control. Why don't they have any self-control? Because they were raised by females who had no self-control and they didn't have a father figure, a stable at least, father figure in their life. So they gonna treat these females the same way they was probably treated when they was on the come up as children. Into, young males. But these are the type of dudes that these females go for. And then, I gotta go on Instagram or I gotta go on Facebook like every other day and see another RIP page put up for some chick that claims she's a model, an actress, and all these people, especially the simps, paying homage and tributes to her. And I'm just like, how is the story always similar every single fucking time I look at these stories in these situations? It's like deja vu or something. What can you say, man? What can you say? Talk to you later, guys.